I have no grudges with her right now. Things can happen again in the future, but it should not tarnish our relation.
The emphasis on right now says it all. Yash just knows that he and Kim are gonna bump heads in the future, and he's ready for it. But the difference now is he claims he won't let it ruin their entire relationship. They need to learn to fight like siblings. So what's changed? Why is he now acting totally different?
I feel like Yash is putting on a show for the families. I don't think that he's turned over a new leaf. I don't think he's changed at all.
Yeah, but we can also level that exact same accusation at you, can't we, Kim? So before we get into all of that, let's start at the beginning. So the last we saw TJ and Kim, they were making up after their bizarre phone breakup. Their relationship is still somehow clinging on by a thread. The marriage is still on. Hopefully, Kimberly has learnt her lesson about her negative attitude, because today, her dad and stepmum are meeting her in-laws.
TJ and I just patched things up after almost breaking up, and now our parents are about to meet for the very first time.
Are we going to be able to see your new apartment?
Ah yes, the apartment. Well, I'm happy to report that Kim really seems to be taking this whole positivity thing in her stride, at least for now. Because get this, she's even able to make a joke about the fact that her bathroom finally has a door.
There are doors on the bathroom now. Oh, so I'm excited.
It's a far cry from Meltdown Kim, the Kim that freaked out over the same issue. But as for TJ's family, how will they act in front of Kimberly's family? It's a big unknown, especially given that the last time they saw Kimberly, all hell broke loose over her jeans. So with that in mind, TJ pulls Yash aside for a chat. He asks him, he begs him to start afresh with Kimberly, to let bygones be bygones and not cause any more problems.
I want to again make the healthy relations with her. I'll try to forget the things which happened earlier.
Okay, this is good. We've got both parties willing to forgive and forget. It seems like we're making progress. Now, Kimberly's parents seem like lovely people. But don't forget, since arriving in India 24 hours ago, all they've heard from Kimberly is the bad stuff, the negatives about TJ's family. To the extent that her dad even suggested that they should call off the wedding. It's completely understandable that they must be incredibly concerned about their daughter's move to India. So how will they raise that issue with TJ's family? And how will TJ's family react?
Namaste.
She's my mom.
Oh, beautiful.
And my dad.
So the two families meet, they hug it out, and there's lots of smiles all round. But before they sit down to have a proper conversation, TJ wants to take Kimberly's parents upstairs. He wants to show them the apartment that he built for her. But he seems nervous. Given how Kimberly reacted to the apartment, he can't quite be sure how they'll react.
This is my bedroom.
Okay. Oh, you can decorate this, Kim.
So this is all I have been busy with.
I like this.
Kimberly's stepmum just seems like a really positive person. The kind of person that Kimberly thinks that she is. But their responses to seeing the apartment couldn't be more different. Like, her stepmum has nothing but positive things to say about it. She even tells Kimberly off. She tells her that although the bedroom isn't completely finished yet, she can take that opportunity to decorate it as she wishes, to make it her own. And it really is a breath of fresh air to hear such positivity about all of TJ's hard work. It's no wonder that her attitude immediately wins over TJ's mum.
Your outfit is beautiful.
You like sari?
It's beautiful.
बहुत अच्छा लगा. बोलो ना.
She's saying she feels very nice and very happy after meeting you people in person.
But hold your horses, because the issue isn't really Kimberly's stepmum. It's more her dad. It was her dad that was suggesting to call off the wedding, and now, not even 5 minutes into first meeting, he takes the opportunity to vocalise his concerns. Does that make him a good dad? Well, yes, absolutely. But does this make the first meeting between parents incredibly awkward and uncomfortable for Kimberly and TJ? Oh, you better believe it does. But by the same token, her father seems to be a gentle and certainly a soft-spoken man. I think that helps to take the sting out of what he says next.
I just want everybody to be as supportive of Kim as I am of TJ, and I think things will work out if we can talk things through if there's issues.
Now, I can imagine that from TJ's family's perspective, it might be a little humiliating for Kimberly's family to show up and accuse them of not being accommodating in their own household. But there is truth to that statement, and we all know it. But what's interesting here is, up until this point, TJ has been acting as a translator. He's been translating very accurately, at least according to the subtitles. But now, surprise, surprise, he chooses to heavily edit what Kimberly's dad said. He cuts out huge chunks of it.
वो कह रहे हैं दो कल्चर में मैरिज होती है जब तो प्रॉब्लम तो होती ही है
लेकिन वो कल्चर भले कुछ नियम अलग बन गए लेकिन लोग तो एक है आपका सुख.
TJ's mum's response is quite nice, but do we believe it? She certainly talks a good game. She says that while their cultures might be different, all humans are the same. And whilst that's true and it's lovely to hear, you do have to question where that culturally sensitive understanding approach was when she chose to get angry over Kimberly's genes. So was she just having a bad day? Or was she being a protective mama bear? Protecting her youngest son Yash, who she felt was being attacked. Well, she actually gives us a little more insight after being asked whether she feels happy about Kimberly moving into the family home.
नहीं अच्छा लगा बस अब अच्छी तरह से रहे प्रेम से रहे सबके सम्मान जरूरी है ना हम आपका करें आप हमारा करो सब एक दूसरे का अच्छा सम्मान से तभी प्रेम बढ़ता.
She says she's happy that her son's getting married. She's happy that the family is growing. But she needs Kimberly to be more harmonious in the household. That fight and all the nastiness that followed all stemmed from a feeling of disrespect. But while the way she expressed this was lovely and she spoke about how love can grow from this, yet again, TJ kind of makes a hash of translating it.
So she is saying we are happy and you need to be prepared to give your respects to everybody around you.
कोई भी तकलीफ हो आपस में बोलो बातचीत करो.
Come on, TJ, you can do better than that. You somehow completely missed the reciprocal nature of what your mum was saying. Your mum clearly made a point of saying it was give and take. You respect us, we'll respect you. We should all respect each other. But the way it was translated made it feel more like an attack on Kimberly. And now she's getting pissed again. You can see the anger bubbling up from within. But to her credit, she does manage to bite her tongue. She knows that there just can't be another fight today. And luckily, her stepmom is there to keep the peace.
That's how we feel too.
तब मम्मी पापा बहुत अच्छे हैं मतलब एक अच्छे इंसान जो होते हैं दिख रहे हैं ठीक है वो भी अपने बच्ची को भी समझाएंगे बड़ी.
Look, Kimberly's had a really hard time getting used to the way of life in India. And a lot of that seems to be down to the fact that she's scared to lose her own identity. She is who she is. She's unique and she doesn't want to be made to fit a mould. But she does need to understand that life in India is going to be completely different to her life back in the States. The sooner she's at peace with that, the easier it will be. But if she can't be at peace with that, then living there isn't the right option for her. Now, when Kimberly's dad asks if Yash is on board with all that's been said, he too says all the right things.
I have no grudges with her right now. Things can happen again in the future, but it should not tarnish our relation.
Okay, so he's not exactly declaring his love for her. He's not making empty false promises that everything will be okay. But at least he's being honest. He's basically saying, yeah, there probably will be fights again in the future, but the best I can do is not let it completely ruin our relationship. And I guess you've got to respect that. There will be fights, they're all living in one extended household. It would be naive and foolish to think they'll always get on without ever arguing. But the problem is, Kimberly is not buying it. She still doesn't seem ready to forgive and forget.
I feel like Yash is putting on a show for the families. I don't think that he's turned over a new leaf. I don't think he's changed at all.
I think she's misinterpreting what Yash is saying here. I don't think he's trying to give the impression that he's changed. It's more like he's taken on board what TJ said to him. He realises that this wedding is happening tomorrow whether he likes it or not. So him fighting Kim is only going to negatively impact the entire family. It feels like he's being the bigger person here. He's extending an olive branch. He wants to put all the drama to bed.
I feel like this conversation is more like a temporary truce than a solution.
Just not about me and Kimberly talking to each other. It's about everybody.
Okay.
The truth is, Kim, it is exactly what you choose to make of it. Like TJ's mum said, respect goes both ways. But unfortunately, that part was lost in translation. If Kimberly chooses to put in the effort, if she chooses to show respect, then it will be reciprocated. But you get the feeling that when her stepmum leaves, her hot temper is likely to get in the way of any peace.